3 Premier League match days, 3 empty spaces where Alexander Isak should have been. While Newcastle United's fans stared at a vacant pitch, the Swedish striker stood alone in a quiet training ground miles away, his public accusation of broken promises echoing like a grenade in the heart of English football. This wasn't just a transfer saga, it was a declaration of war. And Victor Gyökeres, now silently wearing Arsenal's red and white, watched from the sidelines after his own calculated rebellion forced Sporting Lisbon to accept £55 million. 2 stars, 2 clubs held hostage. One terrifying question: has football's power structure just collapsed? Because when players refuse to play and clubs fold under the pressure, the very foundation of the sport begins to crack. Legends like Jamie Carragher see the writing on the wall. He warns this isn't isolated, it's a blueprint. U1 Wissa didn't just leave Brentford, he vanished from their lineup until Newcastle met his price. And while Crystal Palace's Mark Guéhi conducted himself with quiet dignity only to be denied his Anfield dream, ISAK and Gyökeres seized control through defiance. Carragher calls it a sad day for football, arguing that players pulling this stunt give others a greater opportunity to get out. But here's the brutal irony: Gyökeres himself denies player power even exists. On international duty, he insisted clubs hold all the power, claiming players can't choose and clubs can do what they want. Yet his words ring hollow against the reality he created, where refusing to step on the pitch forced a £60 million release clause to evaporate into a £55 million bargain. This isn't about ambition, it's about leverage, and the leverage is shifting fast. Imagine being a mid-table club owner right now. You invest millions in a star, only to watch him skip pre-season tours, skip matches, skip his salary, because yes, ISAK forfeited weeks of £200,000 wages to win his freedom. That's not desperation, it's strategy, a cold calculated bet that the club will blink first, and they did. Liverpool pounced the moment Newcastle blinked. Arsenal did the same for Gyökeres. The message to every ambitious player in every locker room is clear: hold out and you win, but at what cost? Carragher nails the moral dilemma. If someone is putting thousands of pounds in your bank account every week, you should be training and playing. Yet in an era where social media amplifies every grievance and agents weaponize public opinion, the old rules feel obsolete. Clubs once held absolute power, sell or suffer in obscurity. Now players risk short-term pay cuts for long-term glory, knowing fan pressure and media storms can break even the toughest chairman, the real victim. Smaller clubs like Sporting Lisbon, who lose their crown jewel because a gentleman's agreement meant nothing against a striker's resolve, or Brentford forced to sell Wissa at gunpoint. This isn't just about ego or money, it's about survival in a game where loyalty is a luxury no one can afford. And the revolution is accelerating. Gyökeres' dismissal of player power feels like a PR stunt, a desperate attempt to distance himself from the chaos he helped ignite. But the evidence is undeniable. When ISAK skipped Newcastle's opener against Southampton, it wasn't a protest, it was a power play. When Gyökeres vanished from Sporting's squad sheet, it wasn't sulking, it was negotiation by absence, and the domino effect is already visible. Young stars watching this saga aren't thinking about Guéhi's respectful exit, they're studying ISAK's playbook. Why wait for a bid when you can force one? Why trust promises when silence speaks louder? The chilling truth is that clubs now operate in fear. Fear that their next superstar will follow the blueprint, go quiet, go missing, go viral. And in that silence, football's soul is at stake. Is this progress? A necessary correction in a player exploitative system? Or the death rattle of accountability where millionaires treat contracts like suggestions? The answer might decide whether the beautiful game survives its own greed, because here's what keeps executives awake: this isn't ending. As long as transfer fees keep soaring and wages hit astronomical heights, the incentive for players to strike grows. Carragher fears a future where every disgruntled star copies ISAK's script, turning pre-season into a war of attrition. So, clubs bleed revenue from empty jerseys and fan fury, while players bank on the fact that bigger clubs will always pay the ransom. And Gyökeres' denial only fuels the fire. It's the ultimate hypocrisy. He used player power to escape Lisbon, then claims it doesn't exist to save face. But the world saw the truth. His agent's gentleman's agreement shattered because he refused to play. That's not a victim, that's a victor, and his victory is a warning shot. Football's power balance wasn't just tilted, it was overthrown in 3 silent weeks. The question isn't whether clubs will fight back, it's whether they still have the weapons to win. Because right now, in the empty training grounds and unplayed matches, a new era is being born. One where the players hold the keys and the clubs are scrambling to find the lock. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here, and nobody is ready.